What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is July 5th. I was gonna record a little something for July 4th, but we had a lot of people here, all my uncles, my aunts, cousins, some friends, and we had canopies out, the barbecue was rolling, board games, all of that shenanigan. I didn't want to do too much with the car, but I did kind of work on it in between. I was just really enjoying the presence of my family. So the CRV, between the day before, yesterday, and this morning, I did do some work to the car. If you guys saw the last video, we swapped the B16 into the car and we fired it over with the refurb S300 ECU, but we did run into a couple of problems. I'm pretty sure I include the clips at the end of that video as well too on some of the things that we did do. We found out the water pipe had the wrong O-ring, so I robbed it off the B20, threw it in the car. We were able to fix the leak issue behind the block, and we then bled the entire cooling system. 2 fan cycles on jack stands, 45 minutes. Everything seemed to be Gucci. 185 degrees, 183 with the fan on, and no more bubbling out of the reservoir as well as the radiator. So after we got the cooling system all kind of buttoned up, I did play with the S300 a little bit to get the car to run more properly without throwing check engine lights. I only had 1 check engine light, but I fixed that, and then kind of buttoned up a few things here in the engine bay. We got the intake back on, charge pipe installed. We got the vacuum line connected to that. The only one left I need to do is pop this guy off and then run this guy here. And the reason why I reconnected the factory PCV was because I didn't want crankcase pressure to build up, because the 2 -10 bungs at the bottom of the block is capped off for me to cycle the engine without it spewing oil all over the subframe. So we put that back on now because we're not going to be needing this anymore, because in today's video we're going to be installing a Maxpeedingrod catch can setup. Best bang for your buck, comes with everything you need and more, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Maxpeedingrod catch can, you guys see me use this so many times here on the channel. Best bang for your buck as mentioned. Let me show you guys what's all that's inside. Be sure to cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. For any forced induction setup, whether you make big horsepower or little horsepower, I do recommend you run a catch can setup, and not like a super intricate catch can setup, just a simple basic setup for more breathing for your crankcase pressure. Even high horsepower all motor guys, I do recommend you guys run a catch can. My KRX only makes 230 and it also has a catch can. It kind of helps, you know, the health of your engine. But Maxpeedingrod, very simple setup. I want to show you guys the can here real quick. The can has 2 mounting flanges right there. We have a drain bung on the bottom right here, so you don't have to remove the catch can, just turn the lever and it drains whatever fluid. If you have a ton of fluid and you don't make a lot of power, you might have a little problem, but if you make high horsepower, you will have some fluid catching in the can. Got 2 -10s right here together in the front. I do have a Moroso one that I was going to use, but it's on both ends and I didn't want to use 2 different fittings. So anyways, 2 -10s in the front. Comes with the filter right there, drain plug. Right here we have, I think, 10 feet of nylon braided hoses, plenty to do what you need to do. And then in this bag right here, we have literally 2 of every degree fitting. So we have 2 90s, 2 45s, and 2 straight. This catch can is literally under $100, guys. It's got everything you need. So right now, first thing, we need to figure out where we're gonna mount our catch can. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, installing this catch can should be a lot simpler than what I'm about to do. So I refuse to like remove some of the factory stuff right there, and I would have opened up a lot of space for the catch can to sit down there, but I do want it to be a little higher than the outlets of the block where the -10 are going to be going into, right? I decided that I'm going to remove the harness bracket. It only had 2 clips on here, one right there and I believe one right here. So this sat right here on the CRV, and I took off the 2 10mm bolts to remove this bracket. And I was originally thinking, like, you know, the catch can is going to line up with one of these you know, thread holes, but I'm actually interfering with the charge pipe, so it looks like I'm gonna have to push it closer to the battery. And right here seems to be perfect with the 45 fittings, which is gonna like aim towards the T bracket down low, and then loops around into, you know, the back of the block. Except putting it right here does not line up with any of the you know, threaded holes. So it looks like I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably gonna extend this, grind it completely down. This is aluminum, and add aluminum flat stock to this to extend it out to be able to bolt to this hole right here, right? Like I said, this catch can should be a lot easier to install. I just like, I guess I just want to weld. That's my excuse. I just want to weld. The length that we need, it's like 2 1/4. 2 1/4. Got some aluminum scrap bin right here. This is aluminum. So another reason why I wanted to weld today is just to burn off the rest of the gas that I have. My MIG tank is empty, and my argon tank has like maybe 200. And I've actually been wanting to burn the rest of this off just so I can call for my replacement, and we're at like 200. So after I burn this catch can, I'm gonna call my guy to have some gas on the way this week, just so we can have some gas between both my machines for some upcoming projects. You know, just this one bolt right here, the catch can is pretty sturdy. I don't think I'm gonna make a rear mount for that tab, just to keep it a little simple. This right here, it's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and start building the lines right now. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna install the hose end onto the straight right here. And the reason why I'm using a straight is just that it makes it a lot easier to put a wrench on this than a 45 or a 90, because it's really tight knit in the back of the block, which is the reason why the car is still on jack stand, just in case I need to crawl underneath the car to reach up into this. So let's go ahead and install the hose onto the straight fitting. Kind of hard to see, but the hose is kind of flushed up against the bottom of the threads. I like to put a little WD-40 on the threads here. And there's our fitting right here on the hose. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of thread this into the back of the block to figure out our length to the first fitting on the catch can. So a little hard to see, but the line is like threaded one into the fitting on the block, just to give me a rough idea of how long the line needs to be and where I need to cut it to go to the catch can. So I'm gonna give it a little slack, because you got to think about like 1/2 inch of pull, because it's not fully threaded all the way. A 1/2 inch of pull. So where it's currently sitting at is kind of towards the firewall, so a space between the manifold. So anywhere right here will be okay to me. I'm just gonna mark it out with some electrical tape and then cut it right in the middle. And there you guys have it. Maxpeedingrod catch can installed in the B16 swap turboed Honda CRV. The fitting for the bottom hose to the one next to the alternator was a pain to put on because there's literally no space between the oil feed, the alternator, and the oil filter. My hand, my arm, yeah, tore up. I literally had to take off the alternator top bolt, push the alternator all the way towards the subframe to be able to get enough room to turn the wrench to tighten up that dash 10 fitting. But nonetheless, we got it done. We have a catch can, we have a breather set up now, and I'm probably gonna get a little filter for this guy because I don't want to block it off. If there was like a barb fitting on here, I'd definitely run that to the catch can like we did the smaller unit right here. But yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna put a small filter on it later when I get one. But PVC factory is taken off right here because we got two dash 10 breather from the block to the can, and now we're using the original port for that for the boost reference to the wastegate. I think we're also going to get a electronic boost controller before the dyno, just so that we can turn it up. I think this wastegate has like 6-pound spring or something in there. We're going to try to shoot for like 15 pounds of boost, and I think we're going to run an electronic boost controller right there since it's already split. But I mean, that's something we're going to figure out at a later time. The only thing left in this box is this OEM clamp because the silicone hose was too thick for it, so I swapped it over to a worm clamp. Not shabby. I didn't have to throw any extra stuff in the bush this time. Get some daylight shots of the car off the driveway, guys, because this is probably the last time you guys are gonna see it until we go to the dyno. Man, it looks good. It looks good. Even the messed up valve cover, it looks good. I like it. CRV finally has VTEC. Let me tell you guys what, the 6-puck has a little chatter, which is granted for any puck clutches. But what's surprising to me is that it feels like stock. The Exetti Stage 2 6-puck feels like stock, and it feels really good, especially if this car is going to be like a daily or whatever, which I know it's not, but it could definitely be driven on the street without complaints. I mean, I drive with a twin disc, so it may be different to other people, but regardless of the fact though, the car is done. It drives great. Power steering works like it's supposed to. All the smoke coming off the turbo is the downpipe wrap being touched with my hands from all the grease and stuff, so it's kind of burning off the oil. But catch can is looking good. No smoke whatsoever. I don't smell any fuel. All the fuel system seems to be Gucci, and I did double check the fitting in the back, and the fitting underneath the seat is not leaking, so I buttoned up the back seat as well too. But man, B16A2 swap, if I want to be honest with you guys, man, the CRV coming back for the second time kicked my ass. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not sure when Eric is showing up. We are losing the daylight, which means if the night falls, we're not doing a ride along, because it's no point you can't see the reaction of the passenger seat, and I don't want to drive around with my with my interior dome being all blasted with, like, you know, bright light as I'm going down, you know, the dark Mexico roads. So that's probably gonna have to be saved for a different day if I don't tear the sedan apart just yet. But most of the stuff that belongs to the CRV is in the car, aside from the long block. And once the long block gets out of the garage, I can kind of organize this just a little bit more, because after my cousins coming over to the pad here yesterday with their bikes, they literally rode it from the other side of town all the way over here. After riding their bike, I'm kind of convinced I want to build a bike now. Like, I want to build a bike, but it was going to be something I do later. But after mobbing theirs, I kind of want to jump on now. So with the engine out of the way, I can put my long table and set a bike right here and do a bike build. But yeah, anyways, I'll cap out this video when Eric comes here and we go take a little drive, see how he feels about it, and then the car leaving home. So we'll see you guys in a second.